Hello and welcome to a walk around Cockliffe, a walk with Raggy. So this is Cockliffe, this is one of my workplaces. I came here 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago now, 2 years, 2 months. And I'll take you around, I'll flip the camera if I can. No, I can't work out how you flip the camera. Oh, I just have to walk around. So, here's this year's project. You see this bed here, right from the sign all the way across. It's all full of old crappy shrubs that aren't doing anything. Plan this year is to rip the lot out and plant it with fuchsias, flowers, to bring colour, to bring you an entrance that says, yeah, look at this. So here's a project I've just done all the way along there. All this here, there's fuchsias, there's wallflowers, there's Canterbury bells, there's antirrhinums, along with the shrubs as well. Because what you have to do is you have to stop people with cars, usually big 4x4s, from driving over stuff that they shouldn't be driving over. Get out of the way of that sun. So obviously the lawn, I'm trying to repair the lawn. It's used as a car park, an overspill car park. And the only problem with that is, obviously, the grass erodes away at times. So I've sowed it, ready to try and hopefully regrow it. And again here, this is the farmer's land next door. This is our border, and again these shrubs are going to be dropped down to a height where probably rib height on me at least. It's about 2 foot. And so that there's a barrier to stop people walking in, but also that we can plant flowers in as well. It's all about colour, enhancing the entrance. So this has all been planted, as you can see here, all been planted quite well. And you can see there, the seed is starting to come on this lawn, but it's going to be a while, to be fair. We keep having weddings on, so I mean, it needs somewhere to park. So it is what it is, really. And it's a lovely old 1678 it was made, so it's, over 300 years old. I'm trying to work out the maths there, the brain's gone. So over here, against the fence line, I've got fuchsias, a wall of fuchsias with flowers in front. On a normal year, they'd already be at the top of the fence, but this year, because of the dryness, yeah, it hasn't happened. In here, we've got, just here, I keep forgetting this camera. In here, we've got a gas box, a gas meat tank. Calagas, and in there I'm actually going to plant strawberries to create, because strawberries are one of the greatest weed suppressants you'll ever come across. Once they get going, they stop the weeds, and you've got the odd thing about getting strawberries. So I planted this before. That takes you to the wedding room, and they're just coming to the end now. The Rebecca's in the background, there's verbenas down there, and like I say, it's not as good as it normally is, and again because of the bloody summer that we've just had. This a summer from hell, really. So we'll walk round here, and it's like a blog to show you what's going to happen over years. So just here, I've got a bed with wallflowers in. The pollies at the front, they've survived the summer, so they'll be fantastic next spring. This is the bed in front of the hotel, and that bed I've planted with eucalyptus already, but again, because of this weather, they haven't grown much. So I'm going to be using dahlias to create a floral oasis. So going this way, there's the box and bubbles. And we've actually permanently put it there now with wood and that made out of pallet, and good planting, and it's in its permanent situ now, so that's great for that. It's basically a bar, yeah. Although I think they should put kegs and casks in there, because it would fit nicely. So I've got one bank there that the rabbits are in. That's got antirrhinums and that. None of these beds are looking as good as they should do, all because of this summer. Christmas tree in this bed. Bloody hell, camera. And I wish I could flip the camera around. Christmas tree in this bed. with sedum, cordylines in that bed. And these beds are going to get replanted this year because, quite frankly, they haven't done much. Yeah. But, you know, you have to keep trying. So this bed, cesspit there, this was just a weed bed with weeds up to chest height. I put fuchsias and forsythias all the way down the back. Lots of leucanthemums, verbenas and all sorts down this side. And it's now settled. Next year it's going to look stunning. And that's the hopes and aspirations anyway. There's no guarantees with summers. I mean, you only need to look at the grass. This grass should be perfectly green and it's still taking a while to come back. So just goes to show you, you know, you can't win sometimes with weather. Can't throw water at it because of the cost of water. And as you can see in there now, thousands in plants, thousands, all grown by me from seed. And none of it paid for, none of it brought in. Got this bed here. This bed here's got Canterbury bells, Sweet Williams, although they aren't looking at the best, to be fair. And in the back, fuchsias, forsythia, loads of different stuff. And even now, with all the rain we've had, they're still struggling for water, some of them are. So it just goes to show you, balmy bloody weather. Here we've got a wall of dahlias. So you've got dahlias all the way there. And then what I've done now is dahlias over there and dahlias all the way up to the window at the top. So my plan is to create colour all the way round, just to keep going at it, keep chucking it in, because if there's colour, there's no weeds. If there's no weeds, it's a bit easier for me, apart from dead-heading, of course. This bed, verbena and fuchsias with bulbs in. There's daffodils and stuff. All this wasn't here. The grass was up to chest height, and as you can see here, lovely dahlia border. Because this is the cesspit runoff, it's watered all year round, which means these have survived brilliantly. And in this area, hydrangeas love water. They don't care about the soil conditions, which, as you can imagine, if it's a cesspit drain off, it's going to be a bit watery. Yeah, it's a bit pissy, but there you go. I've even got pumpkins growing in here. You can just see them somewhere. I don't know if you can see them actually, but nonetheless, yeah. Yeah, there's pumpkins in here. It hasn't done as good as I wanted it to. I just blame the year, I do. I just blame, and probably my crap planting, but blame the year. We'll go on that. So behind me, bit of a burn pile. Need a burn pile. Although somehow it started to set the trees on fire the other week, so God knows what that was about. So just here I've got an herbaceous border, and again it's under the trees, so it's struggling. So I'll probably have to chuck some different flowers at it next year. But this again was all brambles when I first come, up to waist height, you know, and beyond. And then you got the same here. All these put in last year. These have settled quite nicely actually. Obviously we're at the wrong time of the year now. We're in October. You know, it is what it is. But again, I'm going to flood it. So we've also got our man over there, the verbena bed, the verbena island. That's coming along really nice. God, it's wet through on my feet. And here we've got butternut squash bank. Yeah, well, and strawberries. And then fuchsias at the back to create height. This has been a rip-roaring success. Again, this was weeds up to about here, bloody nettles and everything. And as you can see here, another dahlia border. This has struggled again the summer. And then you've got, from a distance, you've got all the kitchen garden. You've got the 100-foot tree there. Got more logs than a little. I've got broad beans, potatoes. That was a bird or what that was. Raspberries, yellow raspberries, strawberries, alpine strawberries. More potatoes, more broad beans growing. I've got my seed area just here. So you get like with your dahlias, you take off the dead heads when they're getting a bit thick. Not when they're flowers, but when just before they go brown. You put them on there. A week or so later, if it's not raining, they dry off, and that's it for next year. And again here, I've got spinach, tomatoes, more broad beans. I've got courgettes. I've got pumpkins. You can see pumpkins in the background. I've got calendula, lettuce. Oh, an achy bloody arm now. Radicchio, Swiss chard. And all this again was just, I mean, there's a bit of wood on the floor at the moment, but that's a reclaimed pallet. But all this was just rubbish, weeds and whatnot. And it is. Big massive herb bed just here with mint, chives, parsley and basil and other bits and bobs in. And got peppers in here. So, you know, as jobs go. I've even got a bloody strawberries on top of the container. Yeah, that's an experiment. They will work, well, when I give them some water. The two on the end are looking a bit dry. But there's me area around the back. See, I've even got round the back that lot. More beds. Put my potting area. This is away from the weddings, so the weddings can't see this. That's critical, obviously. And again, cold frame here, just there. And then we've got the marquee, an old wedding marquee, 12 by 6 metres, so it's some substantial size, and it's literally full of plants. And if you look here, I'll give you a panoramic view of it. There's plants everywhere, seedlings, plants, and yeah. And this is what I do, as well as mowing, hedge trimming, weeding, and all sorts of other boring things, creating new stuff. It's so there you go, a proper walk round with a video quality that should be decent. We'll upload it when I get home. But yeah, I need to crack on there. I can't be talking all day, I've got work to do. But yeah, cheers all. Hope those who watch find it at least partly interesting. Cheers.